Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. I hope you all will be fine and in good health. In today's science class, we are going to start our second unit, which is microorganism. Fine, as the name of the unit is microorganism, so the very first question which arises in our mind is that what are microorganisms? Microorganism, the word microorganism actually consists of two parts, which means micro means very small and the organism means living beings. So those living beings which are very small in size that we cannot see them with the help of our naked eye are known as microorganism. We know that organisms are everywhere around us, from very big ones such as whales and elephants to very small such as worms. But there are some organisms that we cannot see with the help of our naked eye, and these organisms are known as microorganisms. And as we have said that they are smaller in size and we cannot see them with the help of our naked eye, so we need an equipment to see them, to study them, and that equipment is known as microscope. Fine, so those organisms which are very smaller in size and that cannot be seen with the help of naked eye are known as microorganism, and we need an equipment to see them, to study them, and that equipment is known as microscope. Actually, the word microorganisms consist of two parts. One is micro and the other one is the organism. Micro means very small and organisms means living beings. So those living beings which are smaller in size that we cannot see with the help of naked eye are known as microorganisms. Now come towards the group of microorganisms. Main group of microorganisms can be divided into following three types on the basis of their characteristics. Fine, on the basis of their characteristics we can divide them into three groups, which are viruses, number second bacteria, and number third fungi. So these are the three groups that we will briefly discuss in today's lecture, in today's class, and that is the first one that we are going to discuss is the virus. Fine, so what is meant by virus? Viruses are the smallest of all microbes. Fine, as we have said that they are small enough, but among the microbes, as the microbes are various and they are very in size, they may be smaller than one another, so those which are smallest among them are known as viruses. So viruses are the smallest of all microbes and they are of different types depending upon their shapes and sizes and other characteristics. Fine, so on the basis of their shapes, on the basis of their size, and on the basis of their characteristics, they may be of different types. Viruses pose many harmful effects on the living organisms by causing various diseases. We know that virus cause diseases. Fine, the common diseases that are mentioned on the in that lecture, that is influenza and polio, and the very common virus that we are familiar nowadays, that is the coronavirus. Fine, so as the word comes virus with the corona, and we know that virus cause diseases, so it means that coronavirus is the disease causing virus and all the viruses cause diseases. So the common example of viruses is the polio virus and the coronavirus. So viruses are smallest among all microbes and they may be of different shapes and size, and they cause diseases in the other living beings. The second microorganism that we are going to discuss is the bacteria. What are bacteria? Bacteria, first of all, if we talk about their occurrence, so bacteria is everywhere around us. Fine, they are found in air, they are found in water, soil, and inside the living beings, means they are even present inside the living creature, inside the human beings, inside the other animals. So bacteria is everywhere around us and even inside the living things. Bacteria are usually bigger than viruses, but they are so small that they cannot be seen with the help of our naked eye. Means they are bigger in size than the virus, as we have studied that viruses are the smallest among all the microbes. So it means that if they are smallest, so basically bacteria will be bigger than the viruses, but they are still so small that we cannot observe them, we cannot study them with the help of our naked eye, and we need microscope to observe them. And on the basis of their shapes, bacteria can be of various types, and they may be round. You can see the image on your screen. Bacteria can be round in shape. Fine, they are called spherical bacteria, and the other one that are green in color, they are the round shape, and they are the rod shaped bacteria, and the one that are reddish in color, they are spiral shaped bacteria. So three basic types of bacteria on the basis of their shapes is the spherical bacteria, rod shaped bacteria, and the spiral bacteria. Now if we come towards the effects of bacteria, so they have harmful effects as well as they may be helpful in few regards. The helpful bacteria, most bacteria are harmless to humans, many are useful. They aid in digestion because they are present in the gut. Fine, they are present in the gut of animals and hence they help in the digestion. Without the presence of bacteria, the process of digestion would be incomplete. Fine, they are helpful in the process of digestion, and they provide nutrients for the plants by breaking down dead material by decomposition, provide drugs, and provide some types of food. Okay, if we come towards the point number second, that is provide nutrients for plants by breaking down dead material by decomposition. Fine, so what is meant by decomposition? Decomposition is the process by which the dead organic matter is decomposed by means of these microorganisms, and hence the useful nutrients that are entrapped in the dead bodies of plants or animals, that would be returned back to the environment. Fine, and if these microbes or these bacteria are not present in our environment, so that would be a really big problem, because in their absence the world would have been filled with the dead organic waste, and hence depleting useful resources very quickly. Fine, so they do a job of decomposition which is very useful, which is very effective in returning the useful nutrients back to the environment, which are entrapped in the dead bodies of plant and the other organic waste, or we can say the plants or animals. Fine, so the process of decomposition is very important, it is very useful, and which is performed by the microbes. And they provide drugs, means antibiotics. There are many antibiotics which are prepared by these microbes, and provide some types of food like yogurt, which is made because of the presence of bacteria. Fine, the milk is converted into yogurt because the bacteria grow in number in very short period of time, and hence the milk is converted into yogurt by means of a particular process. Fine, so means they provide us yogurt, so it means they provide some types of food. So that was all about the helpful bacteria, that is the good advantages and advantages of bacteria. Now if we come towards the harmful bacteria, so harmful effects of bacteria include the food poisoning, that is the that may disturb the stomach, and hence they cause food poisoning that may be very problematic, and hence a person needs a quick treatment. Fine, so the first harmful effect is the food poisoning, that the bacteria may cause food poisoning. Bacteria bring about souring of milk, rotting of meat, fruits, and other eatables. Fine, sometimes we see that the milk become useless. Fine, यानी वो इस टाइप हो जाता है that we cannot use it. So why it is so? Because there comes bacteria, and hence it cause souring of the milk and rotting of meat, fruits, and other eatables, that they becomes then they become rot, and hence we cannot eat them. Fine, and the third harmful effect of the bacteria is the diseases in humans. Several diseases such as cholera, typhoid, dysentery, tuberculosis, they are caused by the bacteria. Fine, these are the diseases which are caused by the bacteria. So it means that bacteria is useful as well as they have the harmful effect. So they have effect on both sides. The third microorganism that we are going to discuss is the fungi. They are usually bigger than viruses and bacteria. It means that bacteria are bigger than virus and fungi are even bigger than viruses and bacteria. Some fungi are multicellular. It means they are made up of many cells. Fine, if something is made up of many cells, so we will say that that living being or that living thing is the multicellular, that is made up of many cells, and hence we can see them with the help of our naked eye. I'm giving you a common example, that is the mushroom. Fine, we can see the mushroom with the help of our eye. It means, and that is the example of fungi that belongs to the group of fungi. So it means if we can see them, so that is the multicellular, that is made up of large number of cells, that is made up of many cells, and hence we can see them without using any equipment, without using any microscope. We can see them because it's the multicellular fungi. But we will not say that all the fungi are multicellular. Some are unicellular and some are very smaller in size, and they are small enough that we cannot see them with the help without using a microscope. Fine, in order to see them we need a microscope. And the common example for that smallest type of fungi is the yeast. And the one most important thing or most important characteristic about fungi is that they cannot prepare their own food. Fine, so they feed on other living organism, and for taking their food, for absorbing their food, they grow on the other organism in order to get their food. So in order to get their food, they grow on the other organism. For example, you can see the image on your screen, that is the type of fungi which is known as mold, and that grows on the fruit like that. The image on your screen is of the picture of orange on which the mold has grown, and hence it absorbs its food from the orange, and hence the food become rotten, and it is not eatable now. Okay, and they can be beneficial to some organism and some are harmful to the other. For example, we can see the mushroom that belongs to the fungi group is useful because we eat them, but not all the mushrooms are eatable. Some are poisonous. Fine, but like the fungi like yeast is also useful because that is used to rise the dough, and that makes our bread really soft. And similarly, if we go towards the harmful effect of the fungi, so we can take the example of mold that may rot our fruits. Okay, that is the image of yeast, that is the smaller size fungi that we cannot see with the help of our naked eye. Fine, that are smaller enough. Okay, now come towards the advantages and disadvantages of microorganism. First of all, they help. Advantages of microorganism means the beneficial effects. So the number one is help in digestion. A large number of bacteria live in the guts of humans and other animals, and thus help in the digestive processes. Without them, many of the food sources cannot be processed by human and other animals. If it means that in their absence, the process of digestion would be incomplete. Fine. Number second, help in plant growth. Many fungi live in the roots of plants, and they take their food from the plant and in return help the plant in absorbing nutrients and minerals from the soil. It means that they have mutual relationship with the plant. In as we have studied that fungi cannot prepare their own food, so first they take food from the plants, and in return they add nutrients and they help the plant to absorb nutrient and mineral from the soil, and thus they help in the plant growth. Fine, so it means that they help in the plant growth. So first advantages, or we can say the beneficial fact, is that they help in digestion, and the number second is help in plant growth. Now come towards third, that is help in decomposition. As we have studied earlier that they help in decomposition, which is a process in which the dead organic matter is decomposed by means of the activity of microbes, and thus the useful nutrients which are entrapped in the dead bodies of these animals and plants is thus returned back to the environment. Fine. And in their absence the world would have been filled with the dead organic waste and hence depleting the useful resources very quickly. Now come towards the harmful effects, or we can say disadvantages of microorganism. So the very common disadvantage is the spoilage of food. Microorganisms grow on food and cause spoilage if proper care is not taken regularly. A vast amount of food can be wasted by decomposing microorganism. As we have studied earlier the example of mold on orange that may have that grows on the orange and hence it becomes not eatable now. Fine, we cannot eat them because that is now becomes not eatable. Causing diseases. Microorganisms cause many diseases in plants, animal and human beings. Fine, there are a large number of diseases that are caused by the microorganism. You can see the image on your screen, that is the few diseases that are caused by virus, like the mumps in which the child is having a puffy cheek. Fine. And second one is the flu, and third one is the polio in which the bones of child grown abnormally and hence they cannot walk properly. Fine. So polio, flu and mumps, all these are the viral diseases. And the second image on your screen is the diseases caused by the fungi. Number first is the ringworm, that is the ring like structure, that is actually a fungal disease. Fine, that is the disease caused by the fungi. Number second is the rust, that is the disease of plant and hence in that disease the leaves, the plant is actually affected. Number third is the smut, rust and smut. Okay, these both are the fungal diseases. And the fourth one is the athlete's foot, in which the feet of the person, or we can say human beings, are actually they are affected, they become diseased, and that disease is known as athlete's foot, and that is actually caused by fungi. Now come towards the homework. So today the homework that you have to do is the question number 1, define microorganism. You have to define microorganism, and the question number 2 is the write down the types of microorganism, and you have to do these questions in the rough notebook. Fine, both these questions should be done in the rough notebook. Hope you have understand today's lecture very well. Stay home, stay safe. Allah Hafiz.